time wrong. I blow up and then they're all gone. So sick of saying hold on. A broken state, shaking the ground beneath, running from everything, seems to be the path I lead. And now I'm beating on the floor, wondering why I feel like a ticking time bomb. Always seem to get the time wrong. I blow up and then they're all gone. So sick of saying hold on. I took a shot on hoping I never change. I wonder why I'm always broken. Stuck in time just like I'm frozen. Now I'm slowly thinking, a product of overthinking again. Hold it in and change my breathing. Settle down and stop repeating amends. I feel like a ticking time bomb. Always seem to get the time wrong. Turn wrong. I blow up and then they're all gone. So sick of saying hold on. I feel like a ticking time bomb.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome, one and all. The Premier League season 25-26 is over. It's done. Season's done. It's the end of an era. Rather, no, rewind. It's the end of the season. It's the end of an era. And it's the end of a chapter within the history of this football club. There's no doubt about it. Now, of course, there will be many more chapters still to come. This is a story that will never end, as David Mitchell once said in the Mitchell and Webb look. The football will never, ever end. No one will ever figure out who will win the football. But the greatest era in our history, the greatest chapter in our history, is now closed. Maybe at some point next week we can have a conversation about what the next chapter might look like, and that sort of thing. But that is not the purpose of today's video and today's stream. The purpose of today's stream is to briefly chat about the match, like we will be doing our player ratings for today via the Finalysis app, so stay tuned for that. However, let's be honest, the results today is largely irrelevant. I would actually nearly say it's wholly irrelevant. We can have a chat about performance today. We can have a chat about results today. But that's not... This is going to be a very unusual post-mortem, because we're not going to be going into detail about the tactics and all of that stuff that I would normally do in a post-mortem, because there's so many other pertinent things to discuss. As Nunes says, absolutely 9 different... I think there were 9 changes that Guardiola made. Villa made a lot of changes as well, to be fair to them. But this was more about, can we give the manager, the players, to send off as fans that they deserve? And I feel like the stadium did that today. And if you did it online as well, then big up to you as well, of course. There's lots to chat about today because we've lost a lot of beautiful players and a manager today. I want to talk about how beautiful I felt the not ceremony, but the structure of the day was incredibly well done. Genuinely, who or whatever was like the team, the collection of people that constructed that today, they genuinely deserve a huge round of applause and huge credit, because it just felt like a a perfect send-off and the correct send-off for so many excellent legends of the football club. It was so well done, wasn't it? Yeah, it was properly beautiful, and it's not the first time I've cried over football. It's not the last time I cried. Last time I cried over a football situation was Kevin De Bruyne when he left last season, and they upped the ante even more so today. We'll be going through many of the different things that we saw today and reminiscing a lot as well, just generally. And as I say, we will touch on player ratings as well. But how are we all doing this evening? Hopefully okay. Guys, I own a Ninja Creamy now, okay, which is an ice cream machine. This is a whole pint of chocolate ice cream that I've made with Lotus Biscoff mix-ins. It's 400 calories and over 40 grams of protein for this entire pint. I've already had quite a lot of it, as you can see, so I'm going to be intermittently eating this throughout the stream. It's an incredibly hot day today. Oh my god, it's good. Would recommend, if you are like into ice cream and you want a fun way to get protein in, big up Ninja Creamy. They do not sponsor the stream, by the way. They can have that for free. I can have as much ice cream as I want, though, Naveen, because I can make it low calorie, high protein, so I can have literally as much as I bloody want. I'm very, very happy with it. This whole week's been shit, says just the guy. Brilliant. Yes, yeah, leave a like on the video, guys, as you're coming in. It's free, help support the channel. Good evening indeed. I know it's late, but I stayed until the very end, and I got back like I had to eat something. So there we go. So I had to eat my tea. Saying goodbye to the greatest manager of all time. Absolutely, yeah. Pure vibes. 11 Villa were hungover. Maresca Nation rise. Shut up. Hello to you, Dave. Hello to you, Jackanaut. Looking excited for Maresca, says Risk. Respect to Villa, says Nintendo. Which legend will leave next season? Oh my god. Still hasn't set in at all, says Dino. Definitely. It's fantastic from. Yeah, big up to the players. Absolutely. Aston Villa's players deserve massive, massive props for that, because they didn't have to do that. They could have gone, well, this is a bit of a farce. Why should we have to do this? But I don't know if they... I don't know if it was like discussed... I don't know how it works, so I'm not sure if it was discussed beforehand. I don't know if they just did it when they realised what was happening. But yeah, it was a really nice touch that we did that. People can say it was a bit cheesy and corny. I think that if it's done well, then I don't think it's a problem at all. I think, like, one of the weird instances where that happened was when John Terry got taken off in, like, the 26th minute. And that was a little bit weird, because that was clearly just forced, if you know what I mean. Whereas this, it felt more natural. It's obviously not totally natural, but it felt more natural than that. So I thought it was done really well. So yeah, big up to Villa's players for agreeing to that, or just doing it off the fly. I don't know how it works exactly. But yeah, 2 guards of honours for our players today. Yeah, big up, big up, big up. It is well hot. Might be too hot. 30 degrees tomorrow, guys. Mrs. Nobbins and I are having a barbecue. It's going to be crazy. Yes, Liam. Mate, you're the reason why I got into it. I'll be very real. I'll be very real. You're the reason why I knew why it existed. So big up to you. When Pep was the manager in Spain, they won the World Cup. When he was manager at Bayern, Germany won the World Cup. He spent a decade in England, but we didn't win anything. I know, right? It's like England are social, because this is something that I said in like my Guardiola videos. Like, and to be fair, I still think, I do not believe it's a coincidence. Now you don't. I don't know how hot of a take this is. You don't have to agree with me. I personally do not believe that it is a coincidence that Guardiola manages in Spain. Spain are amazing. Manages in Germany. Germany win the World Cup. Manages in England, and England get through to like semi-finals and finals for like the first time in however many years, or for the first time ever. I don't accept that's a coincidence. I think that it just goes to show how much he increases the ceiling of the leagues that he is in. So there we go. Yeah, I totally agree with that. That's the thing. Why did they start playing out of our press in the second half? Yeah, well, I think we saw today the one of the issues with this. Well, I mean, there's so many problems if you want to try to properly dive into it, because we had loads of changes. The game mattered, but it also didn't matter. Like, the result didn't properly matter, so it's always hard to judge. And this passive 4 is very tricky when Villa is just able to commit so many bodies backwards and you don't put any pressure on them, and then they can easily just play around you. It's one of the reasons I'm still not sold on this passive 4. We'll see what Maresca ends up doing, of course. But yeah, we don't care about tactics today, no indeed. Don't forget the fibre. Hey, I had mixed veg, I'll have you know, Nintendo. I had a whole portion of peas and sweet corn with my tea tonight. Don't you worry. I got that on lock. Shut up, Spartacus. Thoughts on the Enzo links? Thank you very much for the super chat, Nico. I think that he would be a shit signing for a number of reasons, and I really fucking hope that we don't sign him, to be honest with you. I don't think he's that good as a player. I think he's a shit human being. I do not want him at my football club. He can fuck off, quite frankly. Like, you know, I properly cannot get behind that signing. I guess I'll... No, I was going to say I guess I'll have to, but no, I don't fucking have to if we sign him. It's not a signing that I can get behind on any level, morally, or from a footballing POV either. I'm not happy at all with those links. He's going to be overpriced. I don't think he's nearly good enough in duel winning. He's more of like an 8-10 attacking player, seemingly. We don't fucking need another one of those. As I said, the duel winning's not very good. How long has our physicality been a problem in the midfield? Yeah, Enzo Fernandez is definitely going to sort that out. Yeah, brilliant stuff. And he also live streamed racist, homophobic, transphobic chants. It's not someone I want at the football club. So he can fuck off, to be honest with you. And to be honest, the club can fuck off if they end up signing him, because that's fucked me right off. To be honest, I'm very angry at that link, and I really, really hope it doesn't happen for a number of reasons. No. My thoughts are I'm angry. Unless you're talking about Maresca. In which case, different Enzo. Different opinion. Yeah, big up the Ninja Creamy. Absolutely. Hello to you, Punch a Bicycle. Yeah, get the likes up, guys. It's free and help support the channel. 34 degrees tomorrow. Yeah, that's insane. It's so annoying, isn't it, Xander? And it would have been a perfect ending, almost, to like Guardiola's era. Sort of like, you know, Pep was the player who brought Foden through to the first team. He's his son, whatever you want to say. It would have been nice if he scored the final goal of the Pep era. But jobs worths, whatever you want to say. It's the correct decision, so I can't complain, but it's still very frustrating. And it's a good finish, to be fair to him. And it's almost like even though it obviously would have been nicer if we got the win today, it's sort of poetic. It's sort of poetic in a way that the comment earlier about how Pep can go to a country and they win something outside of England. And it's sort of like City in a way. Like, the greatest manager, in my opinion, in history has come to our club, and even he is still not able to remove the typical City-ness from City. There's something quite poetic about that. Maybe that's me trying to just turn a bad situation into a good one. It's just very interesting, I think, that has happened in that way. The lineup, yeah, poetic in that he used Trafford in goal, played Foden at false 9, a very Pep team in a way for some of those moments. So yeah, very apt in some instances. This ice cream is melting, by the way. Goodness me, look at these chunks of Lotus Biscoff. Oh my god. Oh my god. Right, it's in the DNA, exactly, Dave. Right. Like, I knew that today was going to be a struggle. If you've seen my off the ball video, I'm not ashamed to admit it, I cried towards the end. I got very teary towards the end, and I struggled with my words. So I knew today was going to be very, very challenging. And I knew from like an emotional POV. And I knew that I was going to cry today. That was a given. I cried at Aguero's last game. When I saw him cry, that just got to me. It wasn't even the fact we lost the Champions League final, man. It was when the camera cut to Aguero crying, I just died. When Kevin De Bruyne left last season, cried. And so I knew it was going to happen today. But I was only mentally prepared to cry over John Stones and Bernardo Silva and Pep Guardiola. So when the match ends and the staff members and all the players come out, and the first thing that they say is, and here to have an actual goodbye, it's Ilkay Gundogan, our treble-winning captain. I was like, oh my god, I was not mentally or emotionally prepared for this. Like, okay, fine, I guess we'll do that. I guess we'll do this now. So that happened, and at that point, I had the lump in my throat. I was emotionally compromised at that point. I didn't actually shed any tears for Gundogan, but I was close. The lump was in my throat, so I was like, okay. It wasn't because I was holding it back or anything. That's just how it happened. And we applaud him. We all sing the Gundogan chants. And he does a beautiful speech, as he does. And that was really, really nice, because that didn't have to happen today. But on the topic of poetry, he was Pep's first signing. It's right that he were there for Pep's final game managing City. It's just very, very nice to see his first signing, being able to be there to say goodbye to Guardiola as well, which is very beautiful. So that was very challenging to deal with. And then, because I think I knew that Gundogan was in the crowd, or maybe I didn't, I don't know. But anyway, I was not expecting, after that, Ederson. And I don't know if it was because the Gundogan one got me compromised, but I did cry when they said Ederson's name and when he came out and when we started singing the Ederson chant. Now, maybe it's just because of what I've seen this season, and I was crying over what we once had, but that got to me properly. Again, we didn't get to say a proper goodbye for Ederson. It wasn't... We didn't leave on very good terms, as a fan base with Ederson. Does that make sense? It's not like we were like, you're shit, get out of here. I mean, some people were like that. But we didn't get to say a final goodbye. We didn't get that. So that was a really beautiful moment as well, because we didn't have access to that last season, obviously, because he didn't leave, and then he left quite early in the season. So we didn't have that proper goodbye. And yeah, so that got to me as well, and I did cry over that. And again, lovely. The crowds were fantastic today, by the way. This is a bit arrogant or a bit self applause going on here. But outside of the first half of the second half, where we were just conceding goals and it wasn't a fun time, and in the 95th minute, never ever ever have I heard boos that loud at the Etihad. Never in my life. I'm going to extend that to any football stadium I've ever been in. Never heard boos that loud or that vicious. It was absolutely insane when the offside thing came up and it did not show Foden offside. It was not very helpful for the crowd. But yeah, we absolutely did our parts today. The crowd were fantastic today, because that, for me, I was really eager. That had to be the focus of the day. We had to make it perfect or as good as we could for the players and for Guardiola, and we absolutely did do that. And then John Stones came out, and he's a very emotional man, John Stones. He's cried a lot, and I'm the sort of person, I don't know what you guys are like, but I'm the sort of person where, let's say that I don't know, let's say that Mrs. Nobbins and I are watching a film or something very sad, and if Mrs. Nobbins starts crying, I normally well up as well. Someone else crying gets me going. It always has done. Even when I was young, I can be absolutely fine about a situation, and then someone cries, I'm like, oh, I'm upset now as well. So when John Stones comes out and he can barely get his words out and he's struggling to speak and he's welling up, then that got me as well. And I started crying a lot as well. John Stones. I could barely sing the John Stones chants because I was so choked up. It was again very, very beautiful. They did a thing, I'm sure you guys saw it, where it said, and guys, here's John Stones, and they brought out the fucking dog. That was absolutely brilliant. Again, whoever was in charge of all these decisions, brilliant work. There's no doubt. I'm a very emotional person, I feel like. Or I can be. I feel like I'm a very emotional person. Nice emotions, anyway. I'm not very angry emotions. No, yeah, I'll reframe that. I'm very positive emotion strong. Does that make sense? Like, I one time just cried when I was out with my friends because I was having such a good time. You know, I was like, I'm just so happy. Sometimes that just happens to me, especially if I've had a drink. I haven't even had a drink today, just have ice cream. I'm an angry little man, shut up, Liam. So they brought the dog out. That was funny. Yeah, John Stones, amazing. Bernardo Silva as well. And this is something I said in the Off the Ball video. If John Stones weren't so injury prone over his career, you guys would be disgusted. Absolutely disgusted at the sort of conversations I would be putting Stones into. Yeah? I'd be putting him into, like, maybe top 2 Premier League centre-backs of all time type things. Like, these would be very, very uncomfortable conversations. Now, as it is, that's not the case, so we don't have to worry about that. But if he bloody wasn't, then I would. I love that man. Bernardo Silva as well. No doubt he's a legend. Absolute boy. Again, so emotional. And then Pep came out. Oh no, yeah. It was the things that they said, like, you think you're okay, and then Stones will say, this will always be my home. And Bernardo, again, like, saying, like, I'll never forget this. This means everything to me. Oh. And then the video messages, yeah, we got, like, Vincent Kompany and Aguero and De Bruyne. All these past City players, all giving their congratulations to these players. Like we saw Akanji, we saw Walker, we saw Delph, Mike Summerby, etc., etc. So all of these past players, like, giving their well wishes, and then went to Guardiola. Yeah, Laporte, big up to Laporte, and it was just. Then Guardiola came on. Now, thankfully, I didn't cry as much as the Guardiola one because his speech was quite jokey, wasn't it? Like when he said, "If you ever see me, give me a hug." That sort of thing. Like, why do you guys love me so much? So I didn't cry as much at Guardiola's because it was more funny. But my word, it's still some of the things still gets to you, man. And he's gone now, and I realised that it's really weird. I've been Guardiola joined in when? August, was it? No, he would have joined before then, wouldn't it? 2016. I don't know what month it was. Yeah, I just don't know what month it was when he officially joined. Was it like June or July? I'm not sure. So he's been there for 10 years, and I've been with Mrs. Nobbins for 10 years. Which I just thought was very, very strange. Like, he's been in my life as long as like my fiance has been. Obviously on a very different level, but that's just a really weird thing to think about. And I know that there's so many people whose entire formative years were totally influenced by Guardiola's presence. Like if you're 20, for example, you were 10 when he was here. So you going from a child to being a boy to a man, or a girl to a woman. Pep's been there. He's always been that constant, hasn't he? I can confirm, Liam Byrne, I've not had sex with Kevin De Bruyne. I can confirm that. That's just a mad thing to think about, isn't it? Like, however old you are, like, even me as more of an unk, whatever, to be able to associate back to that and go, like, Mrs. Nobbins has been in my life as long as Pep Guardiola, or rather the other way around, Pep Guardiola has been in my life as long as Mrs. Nobbins has. Which is mental to think about. and I guess it speaks to how much he loves us as well. You must absolutely adore a club to spend 10 years of your life with them. I don't know, but I wonder. There's no way that Pep really thought that he was going to be here for 10 years. There's no way. Surely not. And there's no way he could have even begun to have comprehended how much he would love us, how much we would love them. And he's having a bloody stand named after him, and he's having a statue, obviously. So he's forever going to be immortalised at this football club, just like Colin Bell and all of our other greats. Wait, Liam, did Salah not get a mic or something? That's just an insane thing to think about, isn't it? And now it's all over, and now he's gone. Now he's gone. And that's that era done. That's that chapter done. Over. He's not coming back. Unless he does. YOLO. But that's it, man. No more Pep. No more Bernardo. No more John Stones. Probably no more Ake. Probably no more Rico Lewis. Probably no more James Trafford. Maybe no more Nico G. Maybe no more Reinders. Lots of starters today whose futures are massively in doubt, and it's just crazy how much turnover there's going to be in the summer, isn't there? Not just with the manager, but I mean, yeah, even Rodri and Gavardio, there's question marks about whether they're going to extend or not, or are they going to shoot off? It's a mad one. It's a mad one. Exactly, Jack. Yeah, and there's no doubt there's no doubt that was a final hurrah for some of those players. It'll be interesting to see what happens when Maresca comes in. Will he say everyone starting from zero impress me, or will he be like, no, you're on your way anyway, so go? Or will he try to convince players to say, or will he just not want to do that? It'll be an interesting one. No doubt. Listen to the Nodbot, guys. Leave a like on the video. It is free and it helps support the channel. 10 more years, Guardiola. I know, yeah. We started chanting that. He just went, nope. Like, he is done. He is clearly tired, which is fair enough. 10 years. Insane. Why am I eating high protein ice cream? 400 calories, over 40 grams of protein, and it's delicious. All that's in here is because I wanted to do an experiment, because I did a salted caramel with my caramel protein powder yesterday, and it was fucking gorgeous. This is just a chocolate protein pudding with high protein milk and a sweetener in it as well, just for extra sweetness, and that is it. And it's amazingly good. Oh my god. How much sugar? I don't think there's that much. It's just milk in a protein pudding, so not that much. And a sweetener which has no sugar in it. Yeah, I've got xanthan gum. I put a 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum in it because the pudding already had texture to it. I put 1/2 teaspoon in the salted caramel one. How good was Savio? Yeah. I don't know if we want. Do we want to? We can definitely talk about the actual performances as well, because the second half was not as nice. There's no doubt about it. There were some good performances though across the 90 minutes, and there were some. I thought in the first half, especially, that there was some very fun. Football being performed, like that really fun Semenyo back kick to keep the ball in play. I think it was like a Bernardo back heel at one point. Even Semenyo's finish was really nice. There were some like nice party tricks coming out. So it was a feel-good vibe in the first half. Again, we didn't really get that in the second half, unfortunately. But it is what it is, and that's the thing. I felt that Savio did have a decent game. You know, I thought so on him on the left. I don't personally like him as much on the left compared to the right. But yeah, I thought overall he was always trying to get at his man. I thought he had a decent endeavour in that sense. I thought Foden looked good. False 9, we know he can do that job. Could have had a goal as well. Sadly wasn't meant to be. Yeah, but it's ultimately not about the result. It would have been like a bonus, but it is what it is. I thought the kit was all right. I wasn't moved by it, but I wasn't not moved by it. Kit was beautiful, says Nintendo. This is the best atmosphere for a City game. Not ever. Probably this season though. But it's certainly up there, I would suggest, Diaz. It's certainly up there. Why don't you like the kit, Liam Boom? Yeah, it was a great finish. It was a great move. But there we go. I don't think I like the kit yet. It's not one that I'm interested in purchasing. If someone gave it to me as a gift, I'd be like, oh, thank you very much. But it's not one that I'm particularly interested in buying, that's all. Yeah, definitely news. Well, nearly every single game in that final third was crazy. Definitely, Dave. Definitely. I know, right? Donnarumma would never... I don't know if there's much that Trafford can be expected to do for either goal, to be fair. I think Watkins is just quite good finishing today, in fairness. Can I get a bit of the ice cream? There you go. Come on, mate. There you go. Eat up. Come on now. It's turning into liquid now because I left that out for too long. So delicious, obviously. I did, in fairness. I wasn't moved by the treble kits initially, and then it did grow on me as I saw it on the players. It's like, oh, okay, interesting. Fantastic. I'm ordering a Guardiola 10. Excellent. I'm chasing Viana to the end of the earth if you sell Savios as unknown. Does yours go icy or is it just straight creamy? Well, what I do, I can send you some Instagram reels if you want, Liam. I put it on light ice cream setting first. It's all crumbly, and then I put the mix-ins in, and then I put it on mixing setting, and then it comes out all creamy and beautiful. We're nearly done with this, guys, and then I'll stop doing a mukbang stream. If you like ice cream, especially if you want to eat ice cream while still losing weight, would recommend. This is absolutely obscene that I can have ice cream. I haven't had ice cream in months because of my gym journey. So the fact that I can have it again is absolutely insane. I'll sort you out, Liam Byrne. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, mate. I personally like him at right wing as well, Diaz. You're preaching to the converted there. I do, yeah. I've heard you can use that as like a texture replacement as well. Yeah, I don't think that it would have been like the correct call. I think that like I know that we don't want to talk about like players making errors on their last game, but that's a John Stones error. Unfortunately, like he has to clear the ball, and he's not able to clear the ball. There's not much. I'm not going to blame the goalkeeper for that. The defender should do better. I'm sorry, I don't want to have a go, but I'm pretty sure it's John Stones who needs to clear the ball. So it is what it is. Need a vlog. Maybe that'll be a member-only video, yeah. It'll be 24 hours long, though. You got to freeze it. Yeah, that's annoying. And the frustrating thing about this is, I've seen the goal that Bruno got the record-breaking assist from. It's an own goal. Because the shot hits the crossbar, and then it goes off the crossbar onto the goalkeeper. Whenever that happens, that's an own goal. Exactly, it was an own goal. So they had better, like, rule that out or explain why it has been given as a goal. Because if they were so desperate to not give bloody De Bruyne that 21st assist, but they still fucking included it on the highlight reel, insane behaviour. So there we go. Rank Pep seasons from 10 to 1. Okay. Right. How do you want me to rank them? This is a potentially good one. How would you want me to rank them, though? Like, based on what we achieved, based on Pep himself that season, based on the team that we had? Because, for example, I believe that the Centurions are the best team that Guardiola have managed. However, I do not know whether that is Guardiola's best season. Does that make sense? I actually think that Guardiola's best season would be 22-23. Tier list them. Do you mean like next week, or do you mean like do that now? Because I don't know if I can just get it up right now. I'd have to like the tier list maker. I don't think I can do that right now off the fly. I can't just make a tier list right now. I'd have to like on tiermaker.co.uk, whatever it's called, tiermaker.com. No, I don't know if I can do it right now. I don't think unless someone's got a tier maker thing. I don't know if we did in the end. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that another time or something. We'll do that another time. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Yeah, that is unfortunate, Lancaster. That's a shame. That's a shame. I don't want to be mean, but big up to Vitor Hayes. I think I looked at the numbers. I've not watched enough Girona this season, but from what I can gather, Girona didn't go down because they conceded too many goals. They went down because they didn't score enough goals. I think they actually have a pretty decent defensive record across the season. So I don't think like Vitor Hayes is at fault for Girona getting relegated. So big up to Vitor Hayes for having a good season. I'm going to be a little bit mean to Echeverri though. I'm not being funny, but why are you not starting for a relegation side? I don't know enough about the situation, but when I see that he's not even starting for Girona, who are now relegated, that to me doesn't scream he's going to usurp Shirky next season. That screams to me, you've got a lot of potential, but you are nowhere near the level that nowhere near the level which was suggested when he came to City. Last season, which in fairness is something that I said in my Echeverri analysis video. I said, look, he may well have a Ballon d'Or ceiling. He may well, but right now that is nowhere near the player he is, and he's nowhere near good enough to start for us right now. So when like people were saying he should be starting for City right now, like no, he shouldn't. He's not that good. He's fun, but. He made an error this season, not going to Girona immediately. He basically wasted the season there. Wasted this season, seemingly. It will be interesting to see what happens next season. It'll be interesting to see what happens next season. But I don't think he's got a future at City. I'll be honest with you. I don't think he's got a future at City. It's not even about the player not being good enough, even though that might be a thing. We've got so many attacking players right now. So many attacking players. You are not taking Shirky's position, because that would be it. It's not even like, oh, maybe Echeverri can get some game time deeper in midfield as like a number 8. That's not going to happen. Echeverri is like an archetypal number 10. It's not going to happen. So, yeah. Yeah. I agree, Fenway. Personally, I agree. And again, that's something I said in the Echeverri video. I said, if we sign... And I made sure to be careful with my words there, because at that point we were supposedly signing Wirtz. So I said, if City do sign another, big, creative passing player, I don't really see where Echeverri fits. I don't really see how he gets into the side. So, yeah, maybe he'll go out on loan next season. Maybe he'll surprise us. Maybe there'll be some surprise exits from City. But I would be very, very surprised if Echeverri had a City future, in all honesty. I'd be very, very surprised. So, I don't think he has a future, no. He was used as an emergency false 9 for a relegated run. Yeah, it's not ideal, is it? It's not ideal. FA Cup final debut, yeah. Yeah, well, at one point we were linked with him as a manager. I don't know enough about Girona's situation, though. I don't know nearly enough about it. I'm not buying the Echeverri hype. It doesn't show me nearly enough. He's not even technical. I find Rico Lewis more appealing. Big up to Rico. Like, well, yeah, sort of big up to Rico. It's nearly impossible to... I'm just like going here, there, and everywhere today. We can do whatever we want today. Rico is never going to be able to shine in a position that isn't his, which is right back. And we saw, like, the fact that Rico isn't a right back today. Like, when Aston Villa just went more direct, they targeted him. And why wouldn't you? Because he is small and not strong, so obviously whenever there's a second ball in our right channel, then yeah, Aston Villa win the ball back pretty easily. He's not a defender at the end of the day, so He's never really been able to showcase what he could be at City. He was doing some nice moves in the first half, for sure. He was doing some really nice moves in the first half when City were dominating, when we had all of the ball. But of course, when he's got some defending to do, and he's a right back, and he's not a right back, it's tricky. It's tricky for him. So it's a shame for Rico, because I liked him. I liked him when he was in possession. Of course, he's not a defender. It's not his fault. At the end of the day, it's not his fault. So I hope that he goes somewhere that can get the best out of him. I'm sure he'll be a very good midfielder somewhere. It's almost 100% not happening here, though. I would be amazed if Rico Lewis was still here next season, because there's just we can't fit him in anywhere. You can't fit him anywhere. He's not defensively, because again, I repeat, he's not a defender. He's not like Nico O'Reilly, where he's strong and athletic and tall, and he can just fill in at right back, at fullback. Rico can't do that necessarily. Certainly not long term, and we just don't have the facilities to pop him into midfield, because we've got so many other options ahead of him. So hopefully he goes to a nice... I don't know. He would do amazing, I feel like, at a team like maybe like a Brighton or something like that. You know what I mean? Like an upper mid-table situation. I think he's a player who does deserve European football, and I hope he does really, really well. But I just don't think it can happen here. He would cook in Spain. Yeah, I agree with that. Football 1 stay in Italy. Como 4th. AC Man 6. Big up to Como. That's crazy. Send him to Como, says Dean. I hope not, Petri. I hope not. Yeah, big up to Rico. Absolutely. He's the boy. He is the boy. He'll do good somewhere. Once again, it just can't happen. Just can't happen here, seemingly, which is a shame, but it is what it is. Who do you think is the player that was destined to leave City but was told to stay? I don't know. Destined to leave. Well, who are the players destined to leave? That would be Trafford, Rico, Ryan, maybe Reinders, maybe Marmoush, Nico G as well. I mean, I'd like to think it's Trafford, but I don't think it will be. I think he's unfortunately gone. Not sure. Savio, maybe. Dean, maybe. Rico Sims, Bundesliga coded, Prem, too physical and pacey for him. Kova was, that would be a bit boring as well. If it's just like Kovacic, that would be boring. There was like a Sam Lee clip from his podcast where it was something like a player, he was told, or he'd heard, that a player who was going to leave in the summer is now staying. That's just something that Sam Lee said, though. We don't know how valid it is or even which player it is, if indeed it is true. So, we don't... That might not even be true. Elvis convinced it's Marmoush. I think, again, totally might be wrong. I think the Maresca appointment totally kills Marmoush as a City player. Based on what Maresca's philosophy is. There will be a video at some point next week where I go into it in a lot more detail. But long and short of it, guys, and we have touched on it before. I'm sure you guys know if you watch Chelsea. Long and short of it is that Maresca wants his left winger to hold that fucking width on the left wing, and he wants his right winger to hold that width and get chalk on their boots. So he needs touchline players, as his wide options. That's what he needs desperately. So Marmoush ain't going to do that because he's not a pure left winger. So he's not going to be able to do that. Maresca doesn't really like the whole push the fullback up either. It's not really his thing. He very rarely does that. So I don't know where else Marmoush could go outside of striker, but there's a certain 3-time Golden Boot winner stood there. So I don't know where else he could go. And Maresca, again, doesn't use second strikers like that. So I don't know where Marmoush would go in a Maresca setup. This is, again, based on what he has done so far. He might change. He might change. Absolutely. He might adapt and do something different. But so far, that is not how Maresca plays football. He has a very clear and defined front three. It's the left winger is a left winger. The right winger is a right winger. The striker is the striker. That's been a non-negotiable for him. He likes to have like a box crashing 8 and some sort of link up / creative midfielder as well. Those are like the forward positions, if you will. There's no real room for Marmoush in a Maresca setup as we know it. So the more I'm looking into Maresca and the more that I am trying to understand his football and his principles, I do not see where Marmoush lives in there, unless it is only... Unless you can be convinced to be a touchline winger, but that's not what Marmoush is. He's not the sort of player who can be like what Cole Palmer was for Maresca in that more number 10 role. He's obviously not a number 8, so he can't play there either. I don't know what he would be under Maresca based on what we've seen so far. Unless Haaland doesn't play, but Haaland is Haaland. He's won 3 out of 4 golden boots, is it? Is that right? 22, 23, 23, 24, 24, 25. Yeah, in 4 seasons he's won 3 golden boots. You're not usurping Erling Haaland, are you? Be very, very surprised if Marmoush is still here next season. I was on the fence. I was on the fence with Marmoush staying here. I was like, well, maybe he'll stick around for a season, see what happens. But Maresca definitely coming in makes me wonder whether he's even going to stay beyond the summer. Tricky one. It's a tricky one for Omar, because you guys know I like Marmoush. You guys know I like him. But I just... Unless Maresca totally changes as a manager or has some sort of idea that we've never seen before. And that's the thing, guys. I'm not saying it can't happen. It would have to be something we haven't seen under Maresca, whether at Leicester or whether at Chelsea. He's never played like that. Evolution is a thing. Change is a thing. But he's never done that. So far. So far. And Marmoush, right, Matthias, shut up, mate. Should be a good market for Marmoush, who are better striker options available. I think we've been saying that especially if Alvarez or Griezmann, or one or both, are leaving in the summer to whoever, Atletico should definitely try all they can do to get hold of Marmoush. He'd be amazing for Atletico Madrid, I'm so sure of it. He'd just be perfect for them in like a 2-striker setup, in a really high-pressing, high-intensity out-of-possession setup. He would be perfect for Atletico. Griezmann's gone. Marmoush, Atletico, come over here. We gave you Alvarez. We've got another one. We've got another second striker for you, mate. Marmoush and Alvarez linking up. That might be quite nice. Bouncing off each other. Marmoush, Ekitike were amazing for Frankfurt. Marmoush, Alvarez linking up together. That, oh my God, that's actually more brilliant the more you think about it. As an out-of-possession pairing, Alvarez was one of the best pressers and most intense pressers at City. Marmoush, another very intense player. Unbelievable pairing that would be. So Atletico probably needs to sort that out, to be honest with you. Unless Marmoush isn't going. And Maresca has a plan. Who knows? Who knows? Not me, that's who. I do not know anything. Yeah, the Semenyo one is interesting. Very, very interesting. Because we know that he's not a traditional touchline winger at all. But he has been playing like that basically since the League Cup final. Pep's been using him at right wing, out and out with not that much access to the centre. Some generally, but overall, he has been playing him at out and out right wing, which is, yeah, an interesting one. Instinctively, Savio should do very well under Maresca. Is he even going to be here when Maresca takes over? Doku can absolutely do that. It's a bit of a shame because I really liked when Doku's given central access. There's a positive spin on it, which I will get into in the video, which came more in his second season. But there's a lot to talk about in this video, guys, might be very, very long. My notes, guys, would you like to know how long my notes are? If Microsoft Word wants to open. Thank you. I've written 3,400 words of notes. 17 pages, by the way. There's a lot of meat in here. And some of these are just like general notes as well. This might be a long video, to be honest with you. 3,400 words is a lot. You know, my university essays were 3,000 words. How long was it? Oh, that's a good comparison. How long, guys, was my Donnarumma video? Do I have my script for Donnarumma? Do I have it? No, I don't have my Donnarumma script anymore. What a shame. I was going to compare the two. That's a shame. I do not have it, unfortunately. I was going to say, well, that was that, and this is this. I don't think I have it, though. Did I save it, or did I just delete that script? What a shame if I did. Documents. Projects. Words. No, Donnarumma to Man City, I do have it. Right, my Donnarumma script, oh no, to be fair, this is a lot longer. 4,700 words. Oh my god, I had a lot to say about that video, Jesus Christ. So, I don't think it'll be that long, but we might be touching 4,000. It depends, I might trim out some bits, to be fair. I might trim some bits out. But either way. That's a long script, man. Do you know how much editing had to go into that? Do you know how many hours of fucking Donnarumma I had to watch for that video, guys? Anyway. It's so hot. Hey, I've got my fan on and we're chilling. It's an interesting one, Fenway. I can tell you the answer right now if you want. Let me know, Fenway, if you want to know. I'll give you the answer. I'll give you the answer. I'll do it. I'll bloody do it. That's my master's thesis. Yeah, brilliant. Script too long? Chill. I did not, unfortunately. I did not. I can read the intro. I finished the intro. I can read the intro to you guys if you would like. Let me know. Tell us, Shirky. Is my conclusion. Fenway. For your particular question, anyway. The parade. Oh, yeah, and LNobbins is going to be there. So big up. I've not finished the script yet. Musty. They're just like notes and like short form, so it might get a bit longer. I need to do a lot more. Work. I've done a lot of work. I think I've done all the research I want to do. I think I've got all my points. I need to finalize the script. I'm going to send it to a couple people as well, because I need this video to be good. So I'm going to send it to a couple people. I might send it. I might ask John McKenzie if he can have a read of it. See what he thinks. I definitely want to give Connor a first-hand copy. I want to see what he thinks about it as well. And I might edit it from there. Whisper it. Oh, dear. what's your ideal back four next season? I find Guardiola has to be there. Yeah, Guardiola definitely has to be there. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, big up to LNobbins. Femboy or Fenway. Fenway, hello. There will be a Gahey video. It will be more like a Gahey review video, to be honest with you. Because, obviously, we've seen what Gahey's vibes. Here's the intro, guys, that I've written. It's only an intro. It's a minute long. I did trim the... Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, the Donnarumma video, I think, was actually 5,000 words, but I did trim a little bit because there were some repetitive moments in it. And again, I had a lot to say. Guys, I've got a back catalogue of things, don't worry. Right, here's the intro to my Maresca video. How would you replace Guardiola without destroying the identity of Manchester City? You enlist a manager who already knows the club, understands its ethos, and shares many of the same ideological principles as his predecessor. Enzo Maresca is perhaps the least random managerial appointment City could have made. This is not revolution, but an attempt to preserve continuity, to ensure the club is not thrown into tactical and structural turmoil in the wake of Guardiola's departure. True citizen, why expose me, bro? Nah, this is all from me, chill. But continuity doesn't equate to replication. There are important distinctions between Guardiola and Maresca, which go beyond experience and pedigree. Some potentially beneficial, others inarguably dangerous. Depending on how you viewed Guardiola and the direction of his football, Maresca is either the perfect heir or the worst possible successor for Manchester City. Oh, yes. There you go. That's my intro, guys. That's my intro. More to come. More to come. No, you can't get a first-hand copy, you little fraud. Mid, what the hell? 4 out of 10. Chill. Just a guy with their Microsoft Copilot. Shut up, guys. Do you guys know how easy it would be if I actually did use ChatGPT to make my scripts? You guys know how quickly I'd be able to pump out videos? Alex, come on, mate. Come on, mate. You guys better be joking. You guys are better be fucking joking. Maresca is the guy. I think it gives us balance as Dash. Perhaps. I don't like AI as well, yeah. Unless it's used for, like, something related to cats, then that's fine. That's chill. AI has 0 ball knowledge. No, to be fair, it does. Has 0. I'm not AI, mate, no. I've seen them do better. Shut up, Spartacus. Oh, dear. Can Foden do the Enzo role? Yeah, so there's definitely something to be said about... There's a comment that... I agree, Dash, yeah. There is a comment that Enzo made. I don't know if I want to talk too much about it. I feel like I want to wait for the video. I feel like I don't want to talk about it. You'll have to wait on that. But yeah, he said something about Enzo Maresca. Sorry, about Enzo Fernandez. Maresca says something about Fernandez, which I think could be applied to your Foden question, basically. Don't triple pivot. You've got no... Don't worry about it, mate. I will not be doing it. I will not be doing it. Don't you worry. You fraud. You guys are better be joking earlier. Yeah, when you were saying AI ass intro, you better be having a... You better be having... Yeah, this better be a joke, otherwise I'll pop off, yeah? Look at this. This better be a joke, Daniel 007, you little fraudster. Little bastard. Wait, what did Fenway say? Starts off like PR. Oh, I'm just setting the scene. You know, I'm setting the scene. Big Dash. I bloody love a semicolon, though. What's everyone's favourite bit of punctuation? Mine's a semicolon, personally. I do love a semicolon. Oh, Right, guys. Should we do player ratings now, or is there anything else we want to? Because I do want to do player ratings because Finalysis do sponsor or have sponsored this stream. Sorry, so big up to them. Is there anything? Is there anything else that we would like to chat about before we get into player ratings? Let me know. Let me know. Quiz in Google Gemini. I will say I have used ChatGPT before. I've never used any of these other ones though. I've never used Gemini. I've heard of them. I've never used Gemini. I've never used Copilot. Never used what's the other one? Claude. I've used ChatGPT before. Never the other ones though. I will say that. Bad. Make it more informal. But my videos are quite formal because I basically try to write them as essays, basically. That's just how I write. I write academically because I wrote lots of dissertations and essays at university and at law school, so that's just how I'm used to writing. So it's supposed to be a formal / academic presentation, and if that comes across as AI, then I'm sorry about that, but, you know. Speech mark clears. Meta AI. Meta Claude is good, yeah, not used at Liam Byrne, I'll be honest. Yeah. And you got me, guys. It was all the AI. It's done all my scripts, in fact. It's done all of them. Crazy work. Close to Pollux, yeah, brilliant. Alright, my cross shuts up. ChatGPT gets ideas from my old university work, shut it. Form like during the drunk logs. Okay, they're different, chill. I am a fraud, but calm down. What can we expect from Maresca? Who would you think are the biggest wins? That's a good question. Biggest winners and losers. Now, I don't know if I was going to do like a section in the... I don't know if I was going to do like a section in the video. I've got like a... I've made myself... What's the term? It's a... not a guide, but... yeah, like a writing frame, I'm going to say. If you're ever writing an essay, guys, always create a plan. Yes, or a writing frame beforehand. It makes it so much easier rather than just winging it and dicking around. Always have a structure, always have a plan, always have a writing frame. I think in my writing frame, the penultimate paragraph is more so about like which player fits and which players don't. But there are definitely some players where I'm like, yeah, based on your principles, you absolutely fit this. So for example... These are the players who hypothetically fit. That is not the same as saying they will definitely be here next season or that decisions will be changed. But for example, Trafford, Nico O'Reilly, Kusanov, Savio, I'd say Foden and Shirky, to be fair. All of them, I think, are going to be big winners from a theoretical perspective. Big winners. Kusanov especially, actually. Nico O'Reilly maybe number one. Big winners. Theoretical losers. Donnarumma. Nico Gonzalez. Marmouche. Maybe Semenyo. Theoretical. As an example. So, yes. It's an interesting conversation to have. Why is everyone saying way? And I've not named the whole squad there. But just like some players off the top of my head. Yeah, there's a few. There's a few. No, don't do this. Do not do this. Less of that. Oh, sorry, Jesus. I understand, sorry. Yeah, no, indeed. Hello to you, Adelaide. Adelaide. Ada. Quite emotional day. Phil Maresca is going to be the Pellegrini in the next chapter. Feeling the results and our trophy chase will be similar. Perhaps. Excuse me. Yes, this is a very good question. This is a very good point to be raised, and it's something that I will address. Right. Let's now we can talk more about that, but I do want to have a conversation about player ratings first of all, because big up to Finalysis, who do sponsor, or rather are sponsoring today's stream. You can click the link in the video description. You can scan my QR code, download the app. It's a free, fun football app. You can predict, get downloaded for next season, obviously. You can predict scores, you can predict lineups, and there's a leaderboard. There's a city and club specific feed, where you can only see like people from your club, so you can't get baited or anything like that, in case you're finding other social media platforms a bit toxic or frustrating. You can do player ratings as well, like we are going to do here. So if we have ratings here that you don't agree with, you can absolutely do that. Fuck the ratings, please. Pep, Stones, Bernardo all get hundreds. So we'll do these, and we can have more of a chat about Maresca if you guys would like. You can ask me questions in like the final bits. I don't want to do too much on it because I want you guys to watch the video, but we can definitely have a conversation about it. Let's go through these relatively quickly, because I said earlier I don't really care about this game, TBH. So I don't mind going quite quick through today's ratings based on that. Trafford did concede 2 goals. I don't think that he was at fault for either of the goals, though, in fairness to him, but he did concede 2 goals. He made that one good save. There was the other one where I thought it was a save, but it hit the crossbar. I thought his ball playing was quite good, especially in that first half when they pressed us. I thought we looked quite nice in that sense. Again, I don't think there was that much that he could have done for the goals, but he did concede 2 goals. So I'm thinking maybe it was just like like just about like a 60, maybe. 60 is like 50 is average, 60 is above average, 70 is good, 80 is great, 40 is below average, and yeah, 50 is average. What are you guys saying for Trafford? Get your numbers in the live chat. Guys, help out your boy with today's ratings. What are we saying? I explain it every time, Jack, just so people know. Trafford exposed the hairline, which was definitely offside. Brilliant. 100 for not being the Italian guy. Brilliant. 65 for just a guy. At least 100 for Nunes is crazy. 55 for Ken. 67 for True Citizen. Phoenix with a cheeky 67 as well. You can't have bonus points. Hello to you, Lerm. How you doing, mate? Say 115. Brilliant, Dash. 74 to Lerm. Another 67. No, Jack, I'm going to punch you. I'm going to go... I'll go 61. I'll go 61 because he did concede 2 goals at the end of the day. I'm going to be quite chill here today, though. I'm going to be quite chill because it's a feel-good vibes. Damn, Fenway, you've exposed me. Speaking of being exposed, Diaz did get a little bit done. He did get a little bit exposed and done by the second goal. He was... the game opened up a lot. There was a lot of space to cover. We know that Diaz is not especially quick. And he also got sent for the second goal, which was a little bit of a shame for him. Not ideal by any means at all for Ruben. And yeah, he has not played in a minute, has he? When was the last time he actually played? He hasn't played since Real Madrid, which was that a game he got injured in? Maybe, because he hasn't played since the 17th of March. So it did look like one of those games. It did look like one of those games. I thought it was Diaz who got done for... I thought he slid in and then Watkins shafted him. So it's a tricky one for Ruben. Again, I don't want to be too harsh because of the vibe of the day, but he wasn't. It's not like he was great. I don't think he was like bad today, but he wasn't especially great either. Was it definitely Stones who got sent? All right, I'm totally wrong then. My bad. I thought that it was my bad. I thought it was Diaz who did that. My eyes are pretty bad. So there we go. Okay, I'm gonna be a lot less. I was gonna give Diaz some minus points for that, but based on that, I actually think that he was all right today. But again, he did concede 2 goals. He wasn't up to speed. Yeah, 60 says Dave. I think I'm happy with that. 55. I give him 40.67. Brilliant. +2 for being handsome, guys. 59, 60, 60. 60 is not average, Noah. That's not how numbers work. That's not how numbers work. Slightly above average at 59 says just a guy. No, I'll give him that. I think that's fine. Right, Stones. Unfortunately, right, okay, therefore, he wasn't good for either goal. Because he had to clear the first goal, doesn't. And then he slid in for the second one. And LB Streaming says, well, LB's wrong because it's not even a case of subjectivity. Maths is maths. 50 is average by definition of numbers. So you can't argue with the numbers. They exist. So, like, unfortunately, Stones didn't have a good game because he was, like, you know, like, sort of at fault for both goals. So, yeah, I can't just give him 100 for the vibes. I can't do that. That would just be wrong for me to do that, you know. And yeah, he should have a low rating, to be honest with you. Yes, Tones out. I never play for this club again. But it's his last game. So, Noah, I hate you. So, I'll give him. I'm gonna say that he had like a 40, to be honest with you. Like, I actually think it was probably that low. But because he got a guard of honor and because the dog's named after him, he does get an extra 30 points for that. So, you know, I can't give him a bad rating, guys. I can't bring myself to do it. I can't bring myself to do it. And I'll accept. I'll hold my hands up there. You know what? If analysis kick me out, then fair play. But I can't bring myself to give him a 4 on his final game for us. I just don't want to do that. Some things go beyond accurate player ratings, and this is one of those things. Just, we all know that I actually gave him 45. So there you go, guys. It's ended on 45. We're giving him that there. Oh no, my finger slipped and I didn't notice. What a shame. Right. Ake. He's also handsome as well. That's a very good point. He gets bonus points for being handsome as well. Ake, again, I feel like the whole back line struggled, in all honesty. Finish up, mate. I feel like the whole back line struggled. But I don't think Ake had as good a game as Diaz, for example. He sometimes got forward. He sometimes got forward and tried to attack. Set piece threat, true. Very true. Very, very true. What are you saying for Nathan? 60 is for Diaz? Because of that set piece threat, perhaps? His last game? That might be his last game, but it's not been confirmed, Ahmed. So I can't give him the bonus points for it definitely being his last game, I'm afraid. Because it's not been confirmed yet, so he can't play that card right now. He can't play that card. Look at this. Look at you frauds. I think 60 for Ake is fine. Right, Rico. Again, it's another player where it's probably his last game. It's probably his last game. He had a good first half with touching it. He had a strong first half. There were some really nice touches, some really nice link-up play, but he got absolutely done defensively in that second half. Loses some for his wash trim. Yeah, again, first half passes were nice. Second half, he did get done defensively, I'm afraid to say. Which is a shame for him. He's not a right back. He's being asked to play at right back. It is what it is. He's not a defender, so he's not going to do well in defence, especially against a physical Aston Villa side who are just going to target him. So that is unfortunate. But it is what it is. Guys, this behind me was furious with Rico's as Phoenix. Yeah, it's just sort of one of those things, isn't it? Yeah, so obviously that equates to 100s, doesn't it? But nah, I think it's, yeah, great first half, bad second half. I'll give him a 56. I think that's fine. That's fine. Nico G, is it his last game? Question mark, is it his last game as well? There were some good feisty moments from Nico. Some decent passes. He did, to be fair, Ahmed, you're not wrong. Overall, he did get run over a little bit. Yeah, I didn't really notice him either. He did get run over a little bit at times. I don't think it was bad by any means. I don't think he did anything necessarily good or bad. I think I might just be giving him like a solid 60, to be fair, for Nico. Just based on that. Again, I don't think that he was like detrimental or anything. I just don't think that. I just don't think it was like an especially good game for him. But I'm being nice today, so I feel like that's a 60. Let's go. Oh, guys, 100, easy. Bernardo didn't stop running. Got the guard of honor. Did the back heel. When did he come off? He came off before we went to 2-1 as well. So, you know, that happened. I don't know what that means, Jack. If he's not 100, then who is? When you spin the World Cup by giving Roger a rest, very, very, very true. There was one moment where he took the shot and he probably could have squared it. He probably could have squared it to Foden. That was unfortunate. But he won the ball. I feel like he won the ball back all the time. Won 4 out of 5 ground duels, which is very impressive for him. 4 tackles as well, which is insane. He was putting a proper shift in. He was going behind the centre-backs as well. That was really, really good. It's obviously not going to be 100 though, guys. But he is maybe going to get one of the highest ratings here because he is going to get the bonus for playing well. It can't quite be as big as a John Stones one. But I do think 5 for 100. I don't think I should do that, Jack. No, keep. Thank you, but I think keep your money, Jack. That's fine. Thank you though. So I think that Bernardo had a good game. Yeah, I think he had a good game. But I don't know if I would extend it to an 8. I don't think he had a great game. But these are different circumstances. These are different circumstances where I've given, like, Stones bonus points. So I feel like I will say that Bernardo had a great game based on that. And he cried as well. Yeah, the tears. The tears were a thing. So we'll do that. We'll do that. A tenner? Okay, yeah, fine, Jack. Yeah, you know what, fine. You can buy me for that. Not a problem. Not a problem if you want to do that. You don't have to do it, obviously. I was crying. Yeah, you get... Yeah. Purely for the crying vibes, for realsies. For realsies. This is your last time finalising Bernardo. Have some respect. Guys, big up to him. I'm a sellout, absolutely. Guys, we've confirmed today I'm a sellout, and I use AI to write all my scripts. Crazy work. Absolutely crazy work by your boy. I'd say 75 to 80 range. I thought he was quite good today, personally. You could tell we went worse without him, says Connecto. 80 because he cried. I won't cry when Calvin Phillips leaves. No, calm down. Some players who don't get that treatment. Thank you very much, Jack. Appreciate the support. Well, I'll do it. I've been exposed. I'll do it. Oh, Bernardo 100. Oh, the thing froze. Damn it. I wanted to... I tried to show up my phone to show 100. But it didn't happen. Oh my. There we go. I am an AI sellout fraud. Absolutely. There you go. That's me holding up Bernardo 100. Jack, there you go. Thank you, mates. Love that from you. There we go. There we go. Thank you very much, Jack. Appreciate your support. Everyone thank Jack. He's the reason why I gave Bernardo 100. Oh, Savio. I thought the Savio had quite a fun game in that first half. And Savio 100 did chill. 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 I actually thought that he had quite a productive game in that first half. Second half, like the rest of the team, we did back off a little bit and we weren't able to be as good. But yeah, the first half he was creating a lot of danger and a lot of threats down that left side. I still think that there is a good player, or could be, maybe even could become a great player one day. Sorry, I did do a burp there. He also had that shot which got blocked and it was very close because that could have well been a goal, but led to a corner. But of course, like we did get worse in the second half. So I think that like the first half, I probably would have given like something beginning with a 7, maybe like a low 7. But I think second half, maybe more like a something beginning with like a low 6. So I think that balances out to a 69 for Savio. I think that is fair. I think that is fair. Semenyo scored the goal and he took it very, very well. Big up to him. He was another player who went off when... before we conceded the second goal, so he's obviously got no parts to play in that. And Semenyo has officially scored the last ever goal in the Guardiola era. Antoine Semenyo has that mark next to him, which is great for him, so big up for him. He does not get the bonus for it being like his last game. Should have been Theo. No, it should have Ahmed, definitely. Last goal of Pep era makes me sick. No, I know, yeah. Yeah, Aguero did, didn't he? It was a penalty, I'm pretty sure. So he's going to... So for scoring the goal, like it's going to be relatively high. It was a set piece, yes. I'm sick of set piece FC not scoring anything in open play. Hey, we were set piece FC today. I'm going to say that he had a good game because he scored that goal, of course. Reinders. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me, sorry. Can't really remember that much that Reinders did. He took a lot of shots, which is nice. Did he ever? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Was there a Foden? Like Foden and Reinders were linking up, and then I thought Foden was going to take the shot, and then Reinders took it off, and he forced a good save. And yeah, there was a free kick shot. Yeah, he took 4 shots in the end. 3 in the first half. Sorry, all of them in the first half, sorry. And like one of them could have been a goal, but it was a decent save by the goalkeeper, in fairness to him. Dash, what is this, mate? What is this? Free kick left was a decent effort. Won a ground duel. Did he actually? Hello? Oh my god, he did. He won 1 out of 4 ground duels. Fair play to him. Fair play to him. Fair play to him. In the midfield. But I don't think it was an especially good game for him. So I'd probably just go like there. Next Rotary question mark. Shut up. So yeah, I feel like Nico G had a better game, so let's do that, to be honest. I don't think it was that good. I don't think it was that good, to be honest. Foden. Such a shame, because it would have been so lovely if we could have been talking about Foden scoring the equaliser in like the 95th minute or whatever it was. It's a great finish, but it's meaningless because it didn't count. Played a false 9 today, and I actually felt that he was quite good today. I don't think he was excellent or anything like that, but I actually thought that Foden was quite good to be honest with you. I thought that he created a good number of chances. I thought he linked up well. Yeah, he was switching a lot with Savio. He was picking the ball up on the halfway line, switching it, and then running into the box, which was nice to see. Goal threats, had it been onside, of course. Link up was nice. Yeah, had some good switches. I thought he looked good off ball as well. Once again, there's still a long way to go before we get back to the Foden that we know he can be, but it's all about progress, and I feel like this was a good game for him. So what are you guys saying for Phil? I think this is our last outfield player before we get into the man himself. What do you guys reckon, though, for Phil? I'm thinking just a solid, good game, personally. That's what I'm thinking, but what are you guys thinking? What are you guys saying for that one? Plus 10 for a ground tool. 70 for Naveen. Darsh says 70. TJ says 70. Dean says 70. Exactly, Jack, exactly. That's what I'm hopeful for. 69, no joke. Pretty good. Well, good equals 70. 73, because I love him. Yeah, well, thankfully, Dave, well, in my opinion, thankfully, he's not going to the World Cup. Again, might be controversial. I'm sure he'll want to go. I don't want him to go. I don't want him to go, not play that well, because he's not going to play at all, and then people, like, scapegoat him. So I just can't be bothered with that. Phone was ass. I don't think so, mate. Go on 73 now. I'll go for 70. I'll go for 70. And then Pep Guardiola. And then Pep Guardiola. The man himself. The manager. Our gaffer. Yeah. He made a lot of changes today. He's getting sacked in the morning. But once again, today wasn't about even necessarily getting the result. It was more so about it was more so about giving players their time, giving players a chance, making sure players get taken off at certain points. That's actually what I'm going to rank Pep on today, and I think that he did that perfectly well. It's not about, I'm not actually rating him on his lineup today. I'm rating him on the decisions that he made, given the context of the players that are departing. If you look at that starting 11, the speech is gorgeous, but that starting 11 today, Trafford, probably gone. Ake, probably gone. Stones, definitely gone. Lewis, probably gone. Bernardo Silva, definitely gone. Nico G, maybe gone. Savio, maybe gone. Reinders, maybe gone. That's 8 players out of the starting 11 where I'm saying that there's a big question mark as to whether they're going to be here. So I think it's important to give those players the moments that they had, and to take Stones off and Bernardo Silva off when he did as well. That's how I'm going to rate Pep. So, and Jack has threatened me there as well. So yeah, he is getting 100. That's fine. I'm not going to do any of the subs, I don't think. No, I'm not going to do the subs. Andy Madley, genuinely, can I do a 0? Can I actually? You can't do 0. That's a shame. It gives me, it says 0, but then it won't let me do it. VAR, even ignoring the VAR, which Andy Madley isn't involved in, I thought that he had a dog shit game. And I'm not even talking about the VAR controversy. I thought that he was shit today. The amount of fouls that he called where I felt they weren't fouls was absolutely obscene. I thought it was amazing what he was doing. If I type in 0, it won't. Yeah, why won't it let me do 0? Hello? I've been conned, guys. For realsies. You are right. 50 is now no longer average. I guess rounded it is. I thought that he was dog shit, to be honest with you. And again, it's nothing to do with the VAR. He was just shit. And because I'm spiteful, because I'm feeling spiteful today, you're having a 1. You can hold that, Andy Madley. Again, nothing to do with the VAR. Just thought you were dog shit, to be honest. So there we go. Oh, what's my match review going to be, guys? I'm just going to keep it short and sweet. End of an era. I would say the final chapter. The final chapter of Guardiola's Manchester City. We'll never see anything like him again. Go download the app for analysis. Go follow me. Calm down, Shakespeare. Shut up, mate. Yeah, exactly, guys. It was that ChatGPT 2. Pissing me off. You guys are better be fucking joking earlier. Oh, there we go. Submit my analysis. There we go. Go download the app. Go follow me as well. That is what I have done. Look at that 100 for Bernardo. Really fun app. Shout out again to Finalysis for sponsoring some of our streams and videos this season. Big up to them, of course. Big up to them. Right. And that's it. And that's it. The season's done. Guardiola's done. Bernardo's done. John Stones is done. Maybe some other players are done as well. We'll have to see what happens in the summer. Ultimately, it's done. I love saying ultimately, man. I love saying ultimately. If not, it's ChatGPT, yeah. You know what? Someone... I did my... you know that Everton video that... Maybe you don't know it. But my post-match analysis Everton video that I did, which was a very high-effort one, and which had a script for... Someone left a comment saying, this was a great video, Nobbins, but less AI would have been good. And I was like... Pardon? I said... And I think, well, like, pardon, like, I've not used, or no, I think he said, how much AI did you use or something? And I was like, none? And then he replied and was like, oh, sorry, I've put the script through, I've put the script through an AI detector, and actually, yeah, it's coming up with 0% AI. My bad. Yeah, no shit! I don't fucking use AI, for God's sake. My bloody scripts. If I did, I'd be able to probably pump out a video every other day. Hello? Do you know how long it takes me to write these things? Days to write a script. Do you know how easy it would be for me to just say, ChatGPT, please write this for me? Daddy, please. Yeah, he admitted it, to be fair. I used an AI humanizer. Shut up. Fuck up. Fuck up. Exactly. I'd just be having one. It would be like, you know, I don't know if you guys remember it, Illuminati, where she's like did no research and like pumped out video essay after video essay. I'd just be doing that all day. I'd just say, right, Mr. ChatGPT, please give me a 3,000 word script on Pep Guardiola's 10 years at City. And I'd just do it. One time, scripts, there we go, edit, boom, sorted. He wasn't rage baiting Liam Byrne. He actually was being very sincere in the comments, because he left it on 2 different comments. Because I think I left a pinned comment saying, what do you think of this video? And he just left a random comment. He said, yeah, it's good, but you use too much AI. I will rip your spleen out. I will rip it out, yes? Anyway, do we have any final questions, final thoughts that we want to have a chat about today? Let me know. It can be about Maresca if you want them to be. It absolutely can be. Do you think Maresca plays Trafford over Donnarumma? No. I think that if you got Maresca into a room and privately said, look, mate, what do you want to do? I think that he would say, I would rather have the goalkeeper who is going to help me with build-up play and would be a good sweeper. I do not believe that the club is going to be able to readily move on Donnarumma, and I don't know whether Maresca would even have the authority to force that issue. I also don't know whether Trafford would even want to stay, because the club have fucked him over. So why would he want to stay? So theoretically, yes, Maresca would prefer Trafford over Donnarumma, in my opinion. I would argue he needs a ball-playing goalkeeper more than Guardiola. A lot more. Here's a fact for you guys. Here's a fact for you. Maresca has told 3 different goalkeepers publicly that if you play long, you will not play. That's not paraphrasing. That's not taking him out of context. That is what he has ultimately said. You play long, you don't play. He said that to the Leicester goalkeeper. He said that to Sanchez. He said it to Jorgensen as well. Every single one. It's clear what his principles are. We all know what he would want to do, but will he be able to is another question. Fenway, thank you so much for the super chat. Always supporting the channel. Sorry, yeah, Hermanson, that was the Leicester one, yeah. Shifting gears. Thanks for all the streams around the season. Also, massive big up to the chat, especially my boys Nintendo and Naveen. Love the chat. Yes, guys, love all of you. I feel like we as a chat are quite nice, generally speaking. I've not been on other channels in a long time, like when I used to go on like lots of panel shows, just because I've tried to take a bit of a step back from that, just so I can focus on my own stuff. A lot of those chats were mean, like quite mean, and not even like a sort of bantery way of, oh, you know, City lost, isn't that a fun thing? Like, sort of like, I feel like if you spoke to someone like that in person, I don't think you would do that. Do you know what I mean? Very, very mean people. I get that's the internet, but I feel like we're nice over here, generally speaking, of course. Sometimes I lose my rag, of course, and I need to do better at that. I need to sort out my anger sometimes. But generally speaking, I feel like we're quite good. They are very mean. They are very mean. Often, whenever I was on some panel shows, like when I was on Top 6 or sometimes Mo's, I get that it's not my audience, so they're not going to be as nice. But you don't have to be mean. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. Big up to all of you for being nice. Fortune for Fenway. Tell them what you really think. Otherwise, nothing will change. Ooh. Okay. Interesting. Oh. Grow a ginger beard. You know what? My mum tuned in to my Pep is leaving emergency meeting. And she said that I should go bald and grow beards. Because she said, you actually quite suit that look, you know. So it might have to be done. Mother Nobbins has approved me to go for a beard and shave my head and go bald. Because she said, you can pull it off, you know. You'd be quite good as a bald person. Which I thought was quite funny. I'm definitely not going bald, guys. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, KG. I hope you're feeling better soon, matey. Yeah, arseholes don't last long here, to be honest. And we know that there is a big difference between having valid criticism of a player or a manager or whatever and just being a gobby twat. We know there's a big difference between the two. And I don't really tolerate the latter because this is my chat at the end of the day. I don't want to see gobby twats and gobby knobheads. I don't mind good conversation and whatnot, obviously, and like fair and valid critique, but it just doesn't. It's just not helpful for like when people just say, "Oh, we need to sack Maresca," and he's not even played a game for us yet. Like you can have your opinions on whether he's going to be good or bad for us, but when people are saying stuff like he's shit and he's not even played a game for us, or like when we're signing a player and he's not even kicked a ball for us and he's already being tossed off as like a shit player or whatever, and when we don't know anything about him, we don't like that. We don't like that. Well, I don't like that over here anyway. I don't like that over here anyway. Meanies get timed out, yeah, innit? Any other questions, guys? Any other thoughts? I'm hurt. I'm hurt. I like Fabregas. I like his concepts. I do like his concepts. Thank you, Dino. Love that from you. Yeah. If you've not watched the Off the Ball video, I appreciate that maybe no one wants to watch it because we just lost the game and that sort of thing. But I get quite emotional in it. I won't lie to you. I do cry a little bit at the end. I know, mate. I know flaws. I know it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. Shut up, Liam. Yeah, to be fair, it's very transferable. So now, it was the Fraudiola filter, and we can still keep it as the Fraudiola filter, but it's also a Maresca filter. It can be both, why not? I am a gobby twat, but it's my job to be a gobby twat. This is literally my job. If I weren't, then you guys would just be listening to silence, and no one likes that. No one likes that. When is it, says Dom? Sometime next week, matey, sometime next week. Which player do you think has the most to gain from Maresca coming in? Great question. Great question. The most to gain. So not even like the player who's going to perform the best, but the most to gain. Because I would have said Nico O'Reilly, but does he have the most to gain? Maybe not. Hypothetically, Savio. But he might not actually be here. But hypothetically, based on what we have seen, like this season, and what could happen, I think the answer is Savio. Because that's not the same as saying he will play the best or be best suited. I actually think that, no, Trafford's actually probably the better answer, actually, to be fair. Because Trafford's actually just going to leave the club, like, and not, yeah. Yeah, no, I've changed my mind. You guys have convinced me there. Trafford is the one. The most to gain, but that doesn't mean he'll get anything. Doesn't mean he'll get anything. In fairness. You have done me in, guys. You changed my mind. You've charmed me. You've charmed me. Yeah, shall we kiss? Dear. Serious question. What if we do sign Enzo Fernandez? Oh my God. I don't know. Why is this a different colour? Hello? How have you done that? Is it because you've tagged me? I didn't know that was a thing. Has that always been a thing? Has no one ever tagged me before? I've never noticed that before. That's a different colour. That's more of a solid one. Hello? Crazy. Oh, that is because of it. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Yeah, if we do sign Enzo Fernandez, from a player POV, I'll be concerned because I won't really get it, to be honest with you. But I can, like, live with a player that doesn't suit City because, okay, I wasn't happy with the Donnarumma signing, but at the end of the day, he's a very nice person. So I can like Donnarumma because he's clearly very nice. And he's very passionate about City as well, and he's just like a very nice person. So even though I don't like Donnarumma as like a player, he's clearly very nice as a human being. So big up to him for that. But so just I actually don't know what I'd do, because again he has attacked. Well, is attack the right word? I don't know. I don't like to label anyone as like a racist or a sexist or a transphobe or a homophobe, that sort of thing. This, and in fairness, this is why I always say he's made racist comments, because it's always very, he might just be that. It's always very tricky to say that he definitely is that. It might just be I'm not saying it is. It might just be a case of like bad education or not understanding it, whatever. I'm not saying that's an excuse, by the way, at all. Like, it's absolutely not. But like, for example, so that chant, because I think I either forgot what the wording of the chant was, or I didn't properly pay attention to it. It's not just a racist chant that he does. It's also like transphobic and homophobic. So it's very anti-LGBT. And Mrs. Nobbins is part of the LGBT community. She's like bisexual and whatnot. So I feel like it's almost like sort of an attack on her as well. And I've got lots of friends that are in like that community and are black as well. So even if I'm not personally impacted by it, and this is why it annoys me when people are like, oh, you're just virtue signaling. It's not about me. I can have empathy. Just because I personally don't know what it feels like to be the victim of like an attack like that, I can still have an idea of how shit it must be, and I can still feel bad for people who are impacted by it. So I like don't know how I don't know what I'd do. I don't know what I'd do, to be honest. And that's why it really concerns me. I don't like the direction if we do bring him in the way we are going. Like, Guardiola made it clear on many occasions that he wants to sign like players who are like good people. I think good people is what he said, like when we lost out on Alexis Sanchez. He basically made the point of, we don't want people who are like knobheads, essentially. And yeah, I don't want him, even if he didn't make those horrible comments, and he did, by the way, but even if he didn't, even if he had a heart of gold, I still wouldn't want him. It just, I look tanned. Thanks, mate. I went outside today. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, good point, Spartacus. And realistically, I'm not being funny, maybe I missed something here. What punishment does Enzo Fernandez get for that, by the way? Does anyone know? This is a genuine, sincere question. This is like, sorry to talk about a rapist for a second, but this is like the Mason Greenwood situation, a little bit, low-key, where people say, oh, well, Greenwood's now, he's suffered the consequence of his action, so we should all move on. No, he bloody didn't. He's still playing top flight football in France. He's not suffered any fucking consequence. He's still a professional footballer. What do you mean he suffered consequences? Oh, boo-hoo, he doesn't play for Man United anymore. He's still earning thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds a fucking week, playing in Marseille and living it up in France. He's not suffered anything. Did Enzo have to do anything? Did he get fined? Did he miss any matches? Did anything happen in the aftermath of that? Were there any consequences or punishments that happened? Has there been anything to even fucking learn from? There might be. There may well be. Maybe he missed 2 weeks of fucking football. I don't know. Doesn't seem like much of a fucking punishment. So, like, so they've give him a second chance. He hasn't had the fucking hardships of enduring what he fucking did. Just insane. I said I tried to stop being so angry, but that's pissed me off, man. I can't get behind this goddamn signing. I hate that we are being linked so strongly with him. I hate it. I hate it. You guys don't understand. This is really upsetting me. Properly upsetting me on a human level. Never going to play for England, yeah. Oh no. He's never going to play for England. How is he going to cope? This poor man. Oh, he's had his whole life destroyed. His whole career down the drain. Pissing me off. Anyway. Did I cry today? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Multiple times. Multiple times. Off the ball sprint, thank you, mate. I cried all game. What a decade this man has given to us. Feels like I've lost a family member. No, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, matey. See what happens if you guys ask me about Enzo Fernandez. I've got strong feelings about people who do things that are not nice, like that, and that. Because here's, I'm sorry to bring it back one more time. We have to like chant these people's names. We have to applaud them when their names are announced, or rather, we want to do that. We celebrate when they score goals or contribute to a goal. I want to like them. I want to like them. Do you know what I mean? I need to be able to back them and want them to do well and want to be happy at them doing well. Bernardo was a very big cutie today, no doubt about it. Big up to you, Melody. I know, that's why it's disgusting though, isn't it, Dave? Because I get it's a business. He's not even that good. You're telling me there's no option out there who didn't do the things he did that we can go for, who's not as good, if not better? Are we really saying that? That this is the only option? It's insane, man. He's not even that fucking good. For God's sake. Not worth all this fucking faff and controversy and bollocks. Ugh. Spartacus, thank you so much for renewing your membership, matey. 18 months. This AI needs a like to grow on YouTube, Lethal. Shut up. Your other footballer is Mertens. I hate all of you so much. You know that. I want you all to know that I despise all that lovey-dovey we're doing earlier. No, I hate you all. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah. Oh. You know, genuinely, now I had my doubts about Mazza because I don't really see where he fits. I would much rather have Mazza just as a player than Enzo Fernandez, personally. That's what I'd be a thing. That's what I'd like to see. No, that's not true at all. That's not true at all. Luis Suarez was a twat and I hated him. Like, hello? He was a biting, cheating, racist prick. He was one of the best strikers in the world, no doubt about that, but I despised that cunt for the things that he did. The people that he bit, the things that he said, and the fact that he's a dirty cheater. Fuck Luis Suarez. Fuck him. I've always hated Luis Suarez. I don't know if I've ever revealed that. I fucking hated Luis Suarez. Great player, you know, amazing player, but he was a cunt and I hated him. Nah. Pissing me off. Oh, no, indeed. What does Chiellini taste like? Shut up. Oh, right, guys. I think I'm going to shoot off, unless there's any final comments. He did a very racist chant, the vibe, and he did a very homophobic and transphobic chant. That's what we are discussing. That's what we are discussing. And there is evidence of that. I was like Mertens. Yeah, Mertens was a good player, man. I mean, actually, no, fuck Mertens, because he should have scored a goal against Croatia in the... I can't remember the competition. Was it the most recent World Cup or Euros? When Belgium got knocked out in the groups, I can't actually remember which competition it was. De Bruyne slips him in perfectly, and he bottles the chance. So actually, I've got a Mertens agenda for that as well. Actually, I did like Mertens as a player though. He was very fun. But that moment, that annoyed me, because everyone was having a go at Kevin De Bruyne in that competition, and De Bruyne should have had about 4 assists that game, and that was bloody one of them. I can't remember the competition, World Cup 22 or Euro 24, whichever one it was. It was the one where they got grouped with Croatia. I think it was it must have been the World Cup, because wasn't that when they had Morocco in the group and Canada? No, that can't be right. I can't remember. Wait. No, it might have been Canada, Morocco, Belgium, Croatia. Yeah, I think that was the group. So it must have been the World Cup in 2022. Yeah. It must have been. Yeah, that was the one. Because they beat Canada, they lost against Morocco, so they had to win against Croatia. And didn't Croatia come 4th or something? they got quite far, didn't they? And Belgium should have got through instead of Croatia. And that's Mertens and Lukaku. Their stinky faults. Their stinky faults. Yeah? Little bastards. Of course I hate Diego Costa, little bastard. I've got a lot of hate in my heart, guys. Which non-big country will we buy? Oh, good question. Norway. Definitely Norway. Erling Haaland. Basically, any City player, I'll be supporting. Yeah, guys, it's very hot. I'm going to shoot off now because it is so late. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. Let me just do the Hall of Fame. Don't go anywhere, though, guys. If you would like to support the channel, you can do so by clicking that link there. That's what happens when people ask me about players that I don't like, to be fair. That goes beyond football, to be fair. What am I going to do right now? Hello? The vibe. Weird comment that you put, by the way. I don't know if that was... I don't know what that was all about. Yeah, hopefully now learn. I need some therapy. Hey, you guys are my therapy. And you guys are free. Therapists are expensive, you know? You guys are free. So, you know. No, truly, though, sincerely... Look, I don't know why I'm saying this because it's not like I'm going anywhere, but thank you so much for this season, guys. The season's still technically not over because we will be streaming PSG Arsenal. Stay tuned for that, of course. Next week, I want to release the Maresca video. So I'm going to be working very hard on that. This week. We'll still do touchline talks, I think. Like this week, I think we'll still do that. And we'll still do touchline talks throughout the World Cup thing because those games don't interfere with anything in the afternoon because they're really late in the evening. So we can still do touchline talks as normal. We can talk about transfers. We can talk about Maresca, more questions like that. There will be a Gehi video in the summer. There will be a Foden video in the summer. There will be a Maresca video next week. There might be a Vitor Hayes video in the summer, but I don't know what's happening there. There's lots of content to come is basically what I'm trying to say. So stay tuned for that. Once again, thank you so much for all your support this season. We are getting better and better, I think, on this channel. I think that the content has never been better, personally. This season, there's been a lot of experimentation this season with different forms of content, with different release of content, quantity of content. Let me yap for a second, guys. I know I keep saying I'll leave, but just let me yap for a second. You guys can leave if you want, that's fine. Just let me yap for a second. Yeah, I don't think the channel's ever been better from a production perspective or a quality POV, in my opinion. Anyway, I think that this has been some of my best work that we've seen this season. The Donnarumma video, it's even better for AI. The Donnarumma video, I think is one of my best videos I've ever done. So I want to keep building on that. I'm looking into taking some courses. Yeah, I'll reveal this. I'm now like I've got a teaching qualification now. Don't know if anyone's interested in that. I went to a college, well, yeah, a university centre, and I now have a teaching qualification because I want to get better at communicating ideas to you guys. So I now have one of those. I'm not going to use it for a career or anything. I used it. I wanted to get it so I would do better at this. So I now have one of those. Maybe I might like reveal it on like a member video, like exactly what I was teaching or that sort of thing. But there we go. I now have that. I want to do courses to improve my analysis skills as well. Like there's lots of courses with this organisation called the PFSA. So I want to do that. I've already bought some of the courses. I'd like to buy some more though as well. I want to do those. I want to get better. I want to feel more confident with the videos. But yeah, the channel's never been better in respect of like recognition, I would suggest. So, for example, like collaborations with other people, getting people like John McKenzie on the channel, getting Sam Lee on the channel, being able to just like text Sam Lee and say, hello, can you come on the channel, is absolutely crazy. James Olcott reached out. I was due to go on his podcast, but the results happened, which meant that he wanted a different fan on instead, but I now have his digits, and he says he likes the content, so I'll hopefully be going onto like one of James's things at some point, maybe next season, who knows. I'm in the know now, yes, absolutely. And it's just like never been better, everything, really. I know, right, Musty, yeah. Yeah, basically, if City lost against Arsenal in when we won 2-1, then he wanted me on, but instead, because Arsenal lost, he wanted Arsenal fans on, which does make sense. So don't you worry. Oh, Dave, you're absolutely fine. Don't you worry. Yeah, so sorry, I'm talking a lot there. I just want to communicate my thankfulness to you guys, because I feel like we're getting better and better every single season. That's the hope. That's the aim, to always try to progress and push the content, that sort of thing. Thank you for everything. I've pressed the end button. I'm now leaving. Thank you guys so much for joining me this season. I'll catch you next time.